So, our topic is ethics, human rights, and emerging technologies. And I will introduce both the project that it's based on and the conference that we're having. This is the program for the next 3 days. After our introduction today, we will have an afternoon session on human genetics and genomics. Then Thursday, we will have 2 sessions. In the morning, human enhancement. In the afternoon, artificial intelligence and robotics. And we will end on Friday afternoon with a session on the governance of emerging technologies, incorporating ethics and human rights. The project SIENNA, for those of you who are not familiar with it, it's a Horizon 2020 project in the Science with and for Society scheme, which means that it's very much concerned with making science and technology work for society and involving society in its making. We consist of 12 partners in the project, 8 from the European Union, but also 4 from non-EU members, from non-EU countries. So that's fairly unique in EU projects. We have 4 partners because we wanted to have a global input, a global range for our project. So we're just now in the last month, as you can see, for the project. We started October 2017. And if you want more details, including download links for all the deliverables that we can already present to you, please go to our website. So this is the consortium. So we have, as you can see, 8 partners from the European Union, from different countries, from Sweden, Poland, Germany, Spain, UK, Netherlands, UK not EU anymore, of course, and Greece. And then we also have 4, and France, I should say. And then we also have 4 non-EU partners from Brazil, China, and South Africa, and the United States. That's the last one is an affiliate partner, meaning that they do not get funding from the European Union. So together we've been meeting the ethical and human rights challenges of 3 emerging technologies. So these are 3 emerging technologies that are considered to raise significant ethical and human rights issues, and also to have high expected socio-economic impact. Those are artificial intelligence and robotics, human enhancement, and human genomics. Each in their own way, very impactful. So in the SIENNA project, we had 3 objectives. First, to develop ethical frameworks for these 3 technologies that address present and future ethical issues in the mentioned fields, and that take into account stakeholder and public opinion, as well as existing legal and human rights frameworks. So developing ethical frameworks, doing ethical analysis, engaging in ethical discussions, that was our first big step. Secondly, we then wanted to translate these ethical frameworks into ethical tools for researchers and innovators and others, guidelines for research ethics committees, proposals for revision of existing ethical and legal frameworks. So this is kind of our positive agenda, not just studying and analyzing, but making proposals to make things better. And third, and also importantly, after we did all that, we also wanted to generalize these approaches that we had in the first 2 steps, so that they can be applied to other new and emerging technologies. And that's actually the topic of our Friday session. How can we have a general approach for the assessment, guidance, and governance of emerging technologies, incorporating ethics and human rights? Bit more detail about our approach. So we tried to have innovative approaches to studying these issues and making our proposals. We have been performing stakeholder-informed ethical analysis of emerging technologies, which had several steps, including technological conceptualization, technology foresight analysis. We did a socio-economic impact assessment and then used all the information coming from that for an ethical impact assessment with ethical analysis of these three technologies, not just at a general level, but also considering various products coming out of them and various application domains. And that resulted then in ethical evaluations and also recommendations for each of those three. We also did a legal, regulatory, and human rights analysis, studying relevant international norms, as well as regional legal orders, both in the EU and beyond. We conducted a comparative analysis of national legislations over 13 countries. And we did an in-depth analysis of the legislative findings and human rights aspects of these three technologies in terms of their basic regulatory design characteristics. We put a lot of emphasis on public and stakeholder engagement, making science and technology together with stakeholders. So we did a lot of expert and stakeholder consultation. We did a public opinion survey where we surveyed 11,000 people from 11 EU and non-EU countries, considering their acceptance and opinions of these three technologies. We also did panels of citizens, where we had panels with 300 citizens in total from the EU to discuss in full-day sessions their understandings and opinions of these three technologies. And we had more than 16 stakeholder and expert workshops where we discussed findings and ideas. We then also went on to translate our proposals and ethical frameworks, moving towards research ethics, regulation, ethics codes, our ethics by design approach, improvements of ethical and legal frameworks, all of this based on the three ethical frameworks and legal and human rights analysis that we did for the three fields. So, for example, for research ethics, we developed new approaches. For ethics by design, we developed an ethics by design approach for AI and in general. We developed an ethics code for genomics, and we made proposals for improving ethical and legal frameworks.